Welcome to the Uncensored Conservative. I'm your host, Ryan Helms. Alright, so we kind of veered off there. So we have kind of a decent story here. This one actually comes from the New York Times. It's Facebook Unite, dude. Dozens at Facebook Unite to challenge its intolerant liberal culture. This is out of San Francisco. The post went up quietly on Facebook's internal message board last week, titled, "We have a problem with political diversity." It quickly took off inside the social network. "We are a political monoculture that is intolerant to different views," a senior Facebook engineer wrote. Basically says, "We claim to welcome all perspectives, but we are quick to attack, often in mobs, anyone who presents a view that appears to be in opposition of left-leaning ideology," which we all knew. I mean, it's not surprising, right, that old Zuck is a fucking liberal. But apparently, since the post went up, more than 100 Facebook employees have joined. And they're calling for more political diversity. Do you think they'll cut through the noise?
Well, next week they're having to go before Congress. You're going to have the Twitter Jack Dorsey, I believe. He's going to go before Congress, and then they'll have somebody from Facebook go before Congress as well.
Way to jump stories, Matt.
Well, it's sort of a tie-in in the story.
We're doing that one next. No, you're right. But that's the funny part, because Zuckerberg, when he went before Congress last time, said, and I quote, "We are a platform of all ideas," he says, as they delete all of InfoWars' pages off there.
They're trying to make it to where he didn't exist. Alex Jones does not exist.
It's really funny. I saw Alexandrio Frederico Joneso page that was Alex Jones, but he had a mustache and some kind of hat on. It was really funny. That was posting outright InfoWars videos on there, trying to sneak them through the algorithm there. It was fucking hilarious, because it was like.
They banned Alex, but Owen Schroyer and Paul Joseph Watson, I believe their channels are still up.
Yeah, they're still on there. Joseph, I'm surprised they haven't come for him next, especially on Twitter, because they got rid of Gavin McInnes, but they didn't. I would say Paul Joseph Watson's stuff is just as well. It makes sense to me, but they would consider it wildly inappropriate, meaning the left. I'm super shocked they haven't come after him.
I don't know. Maybe it's just because he's not as big a name as Alex. He's out there, but he's not out there. What do you think about? You name 3 people. You name Alex Jones, Ben Shapiro, and Paul Joseph Watson.
Right.
Joseph Watson obviously is the least known of the 3.
Right. I would say that would probably be the case there. He definitely is the least known of the 3, but
the other 2 have also made their mark because of them getting mentioned so much by other people.
Right, and you've got McInnes and his the Proud Boys being thrown out there as a what do you call it? A terrorist group by the Southern
SPLC.
Yeah, the SPLC, the Southern Poverty Law Center, which we all know is the all-knowing. Yeah, it's a gigantic joke. Can't even believe that they're still around. They actually posted a couple of years ago that a Christian firm was a terrorist organization, and a guy showed up. They stopped him the building security stopped him, but he went in to mass shoot up the place because the SLPC or SPLC, excuse me, labeled it a terrorist group. So it was definitely it's definitely a problem.
Yeah, it's like fanning the flames.
Right. You know, trying to say that, you know, people's religious beliefs or people's just regular beliefs are somehow extreme or outrageous. But yeah, back to the Facebook thing. I'm glad to see it. I'm super shocked this guy didn't get fired. I know we talked about the guy from Google. I remembered his name earlier when I was thinking about it.
Was that James Damore?
Yeah, James Damore. That's his name. Yeah, when he came on and wrote that internal memo, all he said was, "Boys have different interests than girls. That's why we don't have very many women engineers here." And he, CEO of Google, flew in to fire him. So I'm super surprised this went out in an internal memo. I do appreciate the balls on this guy.
I think Facebook's actually a little more tolerant than Google.
Maybe so. Well, are they?
Yeah, possibly. Google uses the algorithms to silence people. I guess Facebook can do the same thing, but you know,
They've
if they're letting someone go out there and say his piece and not fire him, then
well,
I don't know. It could.
Ted Cruz got on Zuckerberg the last time he was in Congress, and I don't know that he outright admitted it. You know, that they were dissenting right-wing thoughts, but he definitely got on him about it and drilled him about it. I think he went as far as to ask how many employees they had there that were actually Republicans, and he kept saying, "I don't know the answer to that question," but and I don't know why he would, but that's not the important part. Hopefully, they'll cut through the noise. Is all I'm trying to say. So. We will move on now to what you hinted at. This one is from Mercury. Never heard of that shit before. But says that, like you said, Jack Dorsey and also Sherry Sandberg are set to face grilling on Capitol Hill next week. Lawmakers probe Silicon Valley's efforts to police online from political speech to suspected Russian propaganda. The Senate Intelligence Committee said Wednesday that it will hold a hearing next week with two tech giants on social media companies' responses to foreign influences, blah, 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 blah. Basically, this is what it comes down to. I've never seen a political ad on Facebook and been like, hell yeah, I'm going to vote this way now. You know what I mean? I don't think people's minds are as pliable as we're giving them credit for.
Yeah, I completely agree. It's all made up, really.
I mean, seriously, Russia's been meddling in our elections since the 70s. I mean...
That was just before then, even. 1960s.
Yeah, I mean, the Russians have been meddling for a long time, but now Donald Trump's in office, so we have to investigate that shit. Like, it's mind-blowing.
Well, even though Obama had multiple chances to do something about it, yet didn't do anything about it.
Didn't do anything about it. As a matter of fact, he said, wait till after the election and I'll have a little bit more flexibility. On an open mic, no one bats an eye. Like, no one...
Yeah, Russian, somebody high up in the Russian oligarch or whatever.
Yeah. Basically, on an open mic said that. So, what's going to happen, you think, when these companies show up to Capitol Hill? I think that they're going to get grilled down, but what's going to happen is, what are you doing for Russian meddling? What are you doing for... Because apparently they've found several bots. But again, what the fuck? Like, I've never seen something on Facebook and been like, oh, my mind's been changed. You know what I'm saying? Like...
Well, I think that's why the American people are really fed up, and why Trump's numbers keep going higher and higher.
Yeah, I mean, it's ridiculous. Like, okay, so what's more creepy to me than fucking Russian meddling is when I talk about something with my family, and then all of a sudden I get a fucking ad on Facebook about it. That's more concerning to me than fucking Russian meddling and bot posting fake news. Like, I think that I can differentiate fake news from real news. You know what I mean?
Well, and like, how many of those stories are actually hitting actual voters?
Not many. Like, how many times have you seen a meme and you've kind of been like, is that really true? Like, there was a meme going around a long time ago about Trump saying that if he ever ran for president, he would run in the Republican Party because they're stupid or something like that. And like, the meme was completely false. But it took about a 2-second Google search to figure that shit out. But it spread like wildfire. But again, like, both sides are going to push a specific narrative. We're pushing a narrative here. I'm not going to claim non-bias. I'm fucking biased as shit. But you know what? I'd rather someone come out and be like, hey, I'm biased and you can take it or leave it, than claim to be non-biased when you know they're biased as shit. You know what I mean?
Well, I don't believe I have a bias. I just think that it's. I think that I try to be independent, but it's just. I mean, it's very obvious what's going on.
You probably are more independent than I am. I've always been a conservative. I've always been into politics. You not so much, as far as you. You know what I'm saying? But the left has just gone way too far.
Well, you know what kills me is that website Snopes.
Yeah.
They act like they're purveyors of truth, and like, they lie all the time. It's like, you guys are supposed to be the fact checkers. Why are you lying?
Yeah. Funny part is I saw an article the other day. The Snopes is ran by a guy and his wife, and it's like, yeah. The guy ordered a hooker, left his wife, and then married the hooker, and that's the
I did hear something about that. It is really odd.
Yeah, it's.
I think I don't think she was a hooker. I think she might have been a stripper.
Something like that. I'm purporting fake news here now.
There's sometimes odd, you know. A stripper can be a hooker, and a hooker can be a stripper, you know.
I don't believe that they're mutually exclusive.
Yes.
But
a lot of the time, they both.
Right, but sorry if we offended hookers and or strippers. We are a fan of you both. Do your thing. Do not have
world's oldest profession.
Yeah. You know, I've always been a John Stossel when it comes to sex work. You know, let them work.
He's pretty conservative by this point.
Yeah. He was actually on whose show was that? Crowder's.
Maybe?
No, he was on Crowder's show the other day, and he was talking about, you know, because he's always been pretty independent. He's like you. I feel like he's always kind of been in the middle, and he's always been kind of an investigative journalist. And then you realize that these people that purport to want to help the poor and help minorities, fucking enslave them. You know what I mean? That's kind of what we've kind of, it's like, oh yeah, we'll hand out food stamps to these people in need, and then people do what people do, and they take advantage, and then they sit on their ass their whole life, and
they've been tricking, or they've been playing on the fears of people for so long.
yeah. The government's your new father. Your government's your new spouse. We're gonna take care of you, right? So,
The Democrats have done nothing but screw over the black community since day one.
absolutely. Dinesh D'Souza has a new movie coming out talking about how racist the Democratic Party's been the entire time, and still are. It's the party of the KKK. Robert Byrd, and the parties didn't switch, but the reason the black voters went to the Democratic Party, and I know we're getting off in a tangent. Sorry, YouTube. But what's going to happen is, what happened is after the New Deal, black voters just kind of held their nose and went that direction because they were getting free shit. You know what I mean? So it's like, we don't really like these people. They tend to be racist, but they're giving us shit for free. So, and at the time, helped out that community, or was purported to help out that community. In fact, it just enslaved it. So, here we are.
Yeah, it's been like that for so long, for at least 100 years.
Yeah, it's been bad. It's really bad.